ETB. Hi, Denise.
Hello, hi Erica. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good, thanks.
How's the weather where you are?
It's actually really nice. It's sunny, but it's cold, isn't it? So I mean,
Yeah,
I have the jumper on anyway. So
same here. Yeah, summer's definitely over.
yeah,
Can
yeah.
say
It's that
that
nice
much.
wintry though, autumn kind of feeling.
Yeah, kind of the chill. You can feel it in your lungs when you breathe in
Yeah.
deeply.
Yeah.
Perfect. So Denise, I think you're going to share your slides with us and talk us through
Yeah.
studying at a FET.
Okay, so that should be coming up there.
Yeah, perfect. That was nice
Should
and quick.
it?
You're ready for us.
I'm just gonna slide. Sorry, I'm just waiting for it to. Oops.
You're
Now,
fine.
is that okay there, Erica?
Yep, that's
Slideshow?
perfect.
Yeah.
Looks good, Denise.
Okay, hello folks. How are we? My name is Denise O'Connor, and I'm coming from, I'm being a tutor in the further education and training sector for about 15 years, and head of one of the faculties in one of the colleges, the media department actually for a bit of time as well. So I'm coming from that background. I'm now working in the curriculum development area and upskilling staff in further education. So kind of different angles I'm coming at it from. Um, but from my time, from my 15 years teaching, I suppose I have a lot of experience in terms of the learners, the students, how they come in, what to expect, what supports they avail of, and generally how they get on in the course. So I'm gonna go through some of these slides and just give you a kind of an overall view of what further education is, how you might get in, what courses you might do, and then I'm going to leave a bit of time at the end for Q&A because all different people have different questions about what further ed means for them or maybe about specific areas you're thinking of. So what I want you to do as I'm talking is I just want you to start thinking about, the stuff you enjoy doing, the stuff maybe you're good at. We're going to park the whole where's my career going, what professional, job do I have to get? We're not going to worry about that yet, okay? So further education is mainly about you're looking at what I like doing, what I'm good at, doing a course in that, and then we'll try to get some employment out of it at the end. Okay, so further education and training is basically a third level area. As you know, we've got higher education, which are our universities, so Trinity, DCU, UCD, and further education is also third level. Um, there are some differences with it, but generally speaking, it's third level. It's not school, so it's very different from the school system. We like to approach it as a more third level, so students can come and go as they please. You have the freedom to do that. There's societies, there's after college stuff. Um, but there are smaller classes. And so I'm going to go through some of the reasons why you might choose to do a FET course. So I'll just refer to further education and training as FET, okay? So we don't require any points from your Leave Cert to do a FET course. We generally think about the whole idea that while it's really important to be in school and do your Leave Cert, it's not everything to get high points in your Leave Cert. And sometimes school doesn't work out for some people, or maybe they have bad exams, or they're not getting the accommodations that they require, or whatever it might be. Um, and so we don't look for the points there. We do, however, do things like if it's an arts course, or in my case, media animation, we would say, do you have a portfolio? So, for example, if you wanted to study creative arts course, film, TV, you wanted to go into the TV world of making films and TV shows or animations or anything, we'd ask you for, have you done a YouTube video? Can you show us that? Have you got some paintings, drawings? Have you written some short stories? Just to kind of get an idea of you, and you come in that way. Um, some of the courses look for certain subjects. So if you're doing engineering or something, they want maths or something like that. But generally, so there would be requirements, and that's all up on the website. The good thing about further education is I remember going to higher ed and sitting in rooms of 300 people in a lecture hall, and that can be quite overwhelming for some people. So what they do is they use further education as a gap into higher ed. Personally, I think everyone should do a PLC course, but I'm not biased. But I wish I had known a bit more about further education when I left school because I went into a degree that I didn't enjoy. And I wish I had done 1 year in further education to see if that's what I wanted to do. So I did business for my degree and I was never going to be a business person. I'm actually a more creative person. So it's a good idea to do a PLC course to see if it's the right place. The class sizes are really small. So in higher ed, you do have big lecture rooms, and in further ed, we're looking at the maximum of 26 to 28 in a class. That's what we support in terms of equipment and classroom sizes. Um, and then the supports are there. So while we don't, I'll explain a little bit more about supports later. While we don't have, say, SNAs in a class or something like that, we do have high level learner support. So we have drop-in, we have one-to-one, we have all of that going on. So I'll talk about that in a minute. As I said, it was the bridge between school and higher education. So if that's not where you want to go first, it's a good place to start. And there's a much more focus on your practical skills. So it's not all academic or theory. There's a little bit of that, but generally speaking, it's more practical. Can you hold camera? Can you work with people? Can you, do things, massages, whatever it might be, very practical. So that's what we are. And again, I'll take loads of questions at the end. I'm very happy to answer any questions if I haven't covered it here. Right. So you're there and you're going, oh my God, I'm finishing school or whatever. I need to think about what I'm doing. So why would you do this? I'm not ready for university. I'm just not ready for the big class sizes, the navigating the campus, the knowing where my lectures are, all of that. I'm just not ready for that yet. Maybe I'll be ready for that one day. So further education is a lot easier to navigate. You've got a lot of support. People kind of bring you around. You get a tour of the building before. If there's any, physical disabilities, we'll take you through what your route in the college might be. So it's a good, as I say, a good place to start. I don't have the points to go. I'm just not going to get the points I want to go into a particular course. That's fine. Don't need them for further ed. We're going in a different way. Now, you might well find that the course that you originally wanted to do with the high points, maybe it did require a lot of effort and pain, and then you're just signing up for a 1 year FET course. So it's not the end of the world if you decide I don't want to do that at all. What was I thinking? It's fine. Or I need a bit more support for my maybe dyslexia or dyspraxia or my physical disability or something that maybe that particular higher education facility doesn't offer, or maybe I'm particularly social anxiety maybe, or mental health. Maybe I need to be in a smaller room, smaller class sizes, little family kind of groups rather than the big university. So that would be something to think about. And again, the lectures being too big, it can be overwhelming. So look, we have to all know what our limits are. Some of us can walk into a room of 1,000 people and feel comfortable, and some of us can walk into a room with 10 and feel overwhelmed. So we have to know that about ourselves, and that's a good reason to pick further ed. And I have no idea what I want to do with my life. Little hands up there. I can't see you, but little hands up there if you can, that you haven't got a clue. Most of us, I would say. So why don't I try a PLC course in something that I just like and see where that gets me? So again, in my personal experience, I signed up for a 4 year business degree, and nothing against business degrees. They're brilliant, but I had to stick at it. The parents were like, we're paying this money for you every year, keep at it. And I was just, what was I doing? Why did I just do a PLC in business? And I would have said, I'm really bad at maths. I can't do all the accounting. So if you don't know what you want to do, you're doing a level 5 PLC course. Okay. So a leaving cert would generally be a level 5. A PLC course would be a higher value level 5 into a level 6, usually in further education. So you're not going too much higher in terms of the level, but it is a progression route on. Okay, so what would I like to do? So we're here now and we're thinking, okay, I'm listening to Denise and she's telling me that, maybe if I want to go small, or if I need support, or if I don't know what I want to do, or if I don't have the points, I'm going to do a further ed course. But what course? I mean, we have over 70 courses. Unless you are very, very clear that you want to do A, B, or C, it can be overwhelming to decide. So we're going to write down or type out in the course of this little talk, what am I actually interested in? Am I interested in sport? Am I interested in video games? Am I interested in art? Am I interested in some way to healthcare? Am I drawn towards children? Am I drawn towards teaching? What is it? So write down 2 or 3 things that you know, oh yeah, I actually don't mind that. That I'm interested in that. When that's talked about, what's going on? Then what am I good at? Random, it can be as random as you want. Cooking, art, drawing little kind of anime things on a piece of paper while other people are talking around me. I'm good at talking. I didn't realize there's a whole career in that. Here I am. Well, I'm good at listening. There you go. There's psychology, for example. I'm good at video games. Great. Creative arts. I'm good at making videos. So what are you good at? So now you've got what you're interested in, and you'll actually start to see they will align together. Oh, I'm interested and I'm good at it. This is great. And do I see myself 5 years from now doing that thing, or 3 years from now, or whatever it might be? Yeah, I do. And now we've developed a route to a particular course. Okay, so I'm interested in working with kids. I'm really good actually with working with kids. And yeah, I see myself maybe in a creche or a childcare facility. I'm going to sign up for the childcare course. And again, it's a level 5 and a level 6. It's 2 years with the same group. And after that, then you can go on to higher ed or you can apply for a job. So there's different ways in. So that's the kind of thing I would start if you're a bit overwhelmed about all the courses. And I've just put up here on the slide the different faculty areas in further education. So I want you for a minute to just have a look at this, and I want you to think about which one you're pulled into a little bit more. Okay, some of them you'll just be like, no. There might be 1 or 2, that's okay. Write them down or take a picture or whatever. But I want you to really feel which one. So arts, humanities, and creative media. So that's you're talking about your animation, your film studies, your media studies, your art courses, your art portfolio courses, and then things like psychology. Then you've got your business, administration, and law. So marketing, business, accounting, that kind of thing. So I'm good with numbers, I'm good with this. Education, manufacturing, construction. So this is your pre-primary teaching, construction work. There's architecture in there, there's building, there's that sustainable building model. Health and welfare, all your healthcare courses, physiotherapy, healthcare, assistant healthcare would be one there. Computing, digital data. Now, obviously, we know certain areas have a lot more jobs at the moment, but you know what? Things change so much. You don't know. You can't really, you can't really choose a course based on the economy at the moment because it could change so much. But IT would be one where we'd have a lot of people coming in actually recruiting our students. So that's your networking, your computer science, all of that, your natural sciences, your horticulture, all of that. Tourism, hospitality with tour guiding, retail, and your social sciences, which is your social care, very popular course and really brilliant course. Journalism and information. Again, really good area to get into if you're good at writing. So think about it, which one is kind of dragging you in a little bit, and write that down. Okay, so we have the great thing about the further ed, City of Dublin Fed College is the name of the organisation, that kind of the umbrella of all the Fed colleges that we do. There are other colleges that are further ed, but unfortunately I don't know much about them. I haven't worked in them, but I do work for City of Dublin, so I'm just going to go with that. There are colleges all over Dublin, north, east, south, and west. So you just have to find the course that suits you in an area that suits you. And often there'll be, like, for example, with media, you've got Ballyfermot College of Further Education does media, and Coláiste on the north side does media. So you'd pick the one that's easiest to get to, I suppose. Same with culinary arts or anything like that. So if you just go on to the website, so City of Dublin website, it tells you, you can click on to see where all the colleges are, or you click on the course, enter the course you'd like to do or the area you'd like to do, so childcare or healthcare or media, and it will show you which colleges do that course. Then you just click on that course in that college, apply. And it is the most simple application form: name, age, address, contact, and I'm pretty sure that's it. And they will send you a text message saying you have been accepted pending a portfolio or an interview or whatever that might be. Okay, so that's kind of how to get into it there. And I just put the website up there. So if you want to take a picture or write that down or anything like that, that's the City of Dublin, etb.ie. Okay, so that's how you apply. Really, really easy. And you can apply for a few courses across a few different colleges, see what you get back, see how you feel about it, and off you go. Okay. And then if you're looking for supports, so say you go into the application form, there is a little box in the application form that says, um, do you require any additional learning support in this college? And you just tick that box, and then you will be contacted by one of the staff members on that course to do a needs assessment. And they'll sit down with you. What do you need? In terms of, do you need movement breaks? Is there a physical disability that you need to be on a ground floor or somewhere with a lift? Do you require a particular laptop for software? So if you're hard of hearing or anything like that, there would be software that we have installed on a number of laptops that would be given out to learners with disabilities. But you must tick the box and you must meet for a needs assessment. And generally speaking, in the course, I would be having taught, the needs assessment would come to me then as the course coordinator, and I would share with the staff that, Mary requires a movement break. She also requires a laptop, which you have in the room, and she also maybe gets a little bit overwhelmed sometimes, so may use some kind of device to cut out noise or something, and that all the staff on that course are very familiar with that learner. So that would be how things are done, shared with the team. And then if you need particular support during the year, like you're getting too many assignments or it's a little bit overwhelming, you can make an appointment to see the Learner Support Office, or you can drop in. They're usually fine with that. Different colleges have a different system, so you just have to get to know what that system is, depending on the college you're in. But generally speaking, you'd have a lot of support there. And a lot of the tutors would be trained in learner support. So like I went back and did the DCU postgraduate in inclusive education and learner support as a tutor. So I could be more informed about the learners in front of me. So you would often have that. And that's it, folks. That's just a whistle-stop tour of further education, and hopefully you found it a little bit helpful in terms of what you might do next. I'm opening the floor now, so to speak, to questions and answers. I see the chat there. I don't know, Erica, if you're managing the chat or whether I'll just go in and have a look. But
Yeah, I don't
fire
see anything
away
yet.
questions.
Yeah, feel free. Or another option is to raise your hand if you'd like to speak, and we can unmute you.
Oh,
So
great.
anyway, you have questions, we can get to you.
Yeah. Just look down now. So how do you look up courses outside Dublin? Okay, that's a good question, yeah, because I'm coming from City of Dublin. So the City of Dublin Education and Training Board is one of the training boards in Ireland. So every region of Ireland has an education and training board with a number of colleges. So depending on what part of the country you're from, you'd have your Carlow Kilkenny Training Board, Kerry Cork Training Board, Sligo, Mayo, Monaghan, Leitrim. So each region has, so if you just look up Education and Training Boards Ireland, ETBI, it will give you a list of all the different further ed colleges in all the different regions. So hopefully that answers your question. I am very biased with my Dublin one. I apologise.
And it's only natural, Denise.
Oh, I'm getting good feedback there. Great information. Thanks a million, guys. What is the link to watch this again? Excellent information. Is that for me? I wonder if the previous speakers, I don't know.
I think it's you, Denise.
I've
So
shared
we'll be sharing the link, yeah, with everyone.
and I've shared this slideshow with you guys, so that can go out. And also, absolutely great to email specifically a college or that you want to study in and ask for specific information on a course. That will go directly to the course coordinator, who will get back to you. And on specific questions. I mean, I'm going very general here. You could be doing any course, but sometimes if you're thinking, oh, I'd love to do the whatever healthcare course, you might want to know like what module, the website will tell you, but you might want to know, how could I get into that? Am I the right person for that? And I will just say as well, I didn't mention it there, like some learners sign up for courses that are really not suitable for them. And I talked about what you like doing and what you're interested in, but we have to be realistic with our expectations. I mean, I would never sign up for a course in singing or acting or
Mhm.
dancing, despite what I might think myself. But yet people come along and often they say that due to their disability, maybe they're at a disadvantage, but sometimes it's just that it's not suited for you. So you have to be prepared for that. And I suppose further education is really good for that. It's a short course. If you find halfway through, what was I thinking? Like for example, I had a learner a couple of years ago who was doing media, and we do a sound engineering module, but she didn't like loud noises at all. They really affected her. But we had to do loud noises because in sound engineering you have to do Foley, so you have to learn how to put sound. And I just thought this doesn't really have anything to do with anybody's disabilities or anything. This is just the wrong course for this person. And then transferred into another course within the college, and she was much happier with that. So just don't be afraid to try things and just see. Does that suit me as a person? It doesn't. PLC course, level five. I often say to people, finish the level five, because if you get your level five, even if you don't like it, then you can do a level six next year in something completely different. So you can do a level five in childcare and then the following year go no and do a level six in social care because they're quite similar. A lot of the modules overlap. Now, if you were to transfer from, say, social care into media, we probably advise you to go and do the level five again in media because you would have missed a lot in the first year. But often there's crossover. And I also just mentioned if you do a five and a six, you can go into a higher education, usually with about five distinctions. And I see a question, very good question. Can you go straight in and do a level six? Yes. So, for example, again, I'm going to use the media example just because that was I was head of faculty. Um, we had a learner come to us from the Leaving Cert. Didn't do particularly well in the Leaving Cert. Found school very challenging. But was excellent, excellent. Had excellent YouTube videos made. Excellent writer, excellent skills. And we felt that this person could skip level five and could go straight into a level six. And this person is now in DCU doing a communications degree now. So it just goes to show it was the right route. So absolutely you can, if your portfolio is good enough, or if you've done a level five somewhere else, or if you've got a particularly strong experience in that area, if you've worked in that area before, yes. And you can also you could even, go from you could go from Leaving Cert into a level six. It's possible. How do you then apply to third level colleges? So if you finish your level five and you want to go into higher ed, we will tell you in the course that this particular university requires five distinctions, and then they'll take you. Or you can transfer your FET college results into CEO points. Um, so is it still into first year via CEO? So some of our courses have advanced entry. So you do level five, level six, and you go into the second year. So for example, our pre-engineering, pre-primary teaching, you'll see it on the website. Some of them have direct progression routes. Otherwise, you can transfer your results back into CEO, and our guidance will fill out the CEO with you in the further education college if that's what's needed. You also can make an appointment with guidance to see what you can do with those results. So you can absolutely apply to higher education colleges or universities with your FET results, and some of them ring fence places for our students. And by the way, we absolutely are really popular in the higher ed. If you've done a further ed course, they often favour you because they think, great, they've left school, they did the mature thing, did a PLC course, and they're often much more prepared for university than the Leaving Cert students are. They're usually all over the place, to be honest. So yeah. What age can someone attend an ETB course? Generally they're post leaving cert. So generally they're usually 17 or 18. However, we have taken younger students with a good portfolio who haven't done the leaving cert. In that case, we need to do an interview with a member of the learning support team, and usually a parent comes along if they're under 18, but there's no reason why they wouldn't. In some cases, we might refer people onto a youth reach course to do a level four before coming to a level five if school has been an absolute disaster and say they left in transition year or something. But generally speaking, 16, 17, 18 onwards. And I had two students of the last 2 years in their 60s. So you're talking about, an 18-year-old people being in with 60-year-olds who decided I'd like to do theatre. In the last part of my life, I'd like to be an actor. And it's a wonderful thing, so age is not really an issue. What sort of portfolio would you need for business construction, for example? That's interview based. Yeah, generally speaking, that's interview based. Or I don't even think they do interviews. I think they just take people in and then they just have a chat to them in the first few weeks and make sure it's the right fit. So I would be putting in an application for that. It's quite popular. Put in an application for that as soon as you can. Um, Construction might be a bit different. I know the BIM course is a little bit the building, it's sustainable building course. They might look for you to have done something, but again, go straight to the website and have a look at that. It should have all the information. Do you have a course for someone to become an electrician? Um, I'm trying to think. Yeah, so we do. We have the science course has an electrician module in it. Is that where they do all those blowtorch things and all that? Because we have a couple of labs. I could always hear them next door to my room, and putting electricity through wires. So we absolutely do have that in. I know we have that in Coláiste campus in Coolock. We have that. So again, have a look at the website. But yeah, electrician, yeah, it would be popular. What are the deadlines? You can apply right up until, so what are we now? Christmas. You can apply between now and next August for a course in a September for to start in September. So you can just apply. You can withdraw your application. And by the way, it's only €100 per year to do a further education course. That's it. No more money. €100. So for higher ed, you're talking in the thousands. Further ed, €100 for every single course. So the deadlines are next August 2026. How does it divide it compared to the points equivalent? I suppose each university has a standardized system. They'd say, in order to do this course, we need the equivalent of a further education 5 distinctions. Some courses don't, they just look for a merit profile. So it just depends on the course. Like if you're going into a very high points course, they're going to require even 6, maybe 7 distinctions. But that will be something that we will explain to you as we go. Okay, so don't worry too much about your progression. Your progression will happen kind of organically. Is there someone coming in there that's Cara? Did you want to add?
I
No,
think
that's just you just
Kara's
came up. Okay,
our
that's
next
fine.
session. Not to
That's
push you
fine.
off,
Sorry,
Denise.
sorry.
If there's any final
So
questions, there's plenty of
any
time.
other
So
questions, guys, before I wrap up? But seriously, go to the website, start sieving your way through that website, and don't get overwhelmed. Please write down what you're good at and what people ask your friends or your family, what do you think I'm good at? And that can often determine what course. They said to me eventually, you're really good at talking. And I said, oh, I better be a teacher because what other job can you talk nonstop all day? So here I am, still talking nonstop all day.
or a
But
podcast host, Denise, might have suited you.
what?
A host of a podcast might be good for you as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, I'm on that, Erica. Oh yeah,
I
I'm
hear
on
you.
that. So I have a little podcast in the background.
Ah, nice. Perfect. Yeah, really good session. Thank you so much, Denise. It's wonderful how many
Brilliant.
options are available to everyone, isn't it?
Yeah, and somebody just put that up there. Like people think the leaving cert, and look, I'm not saying it's not important. It absolutely is, but like having to 100% rely on that if you're having a bad year or a
Mhm.
bad day, it's nice to know that that's not the end of your career if you mess up. There's another way in, and often further education will lead you down the exact same road. It might take a
Yeah,
bit longer, but what harm is that? Who wants to be out there,
yeah,
getting jobs and all that? Our places limited
100%.
in higher
Yeah.
education, yeah. They are limited, yeah. They won't take everybody. So again, in my experience, the ones who really want to go and really should be going get to go. And some people, again, a little bit unrealistic. I want to go to UCD now. I've done my further ed, and I'm kind of saying I think you need another year here. I just think you need a little bit more support before you go on. So often we will guide you through that. Okay, thanks very much, folks. Thanks for listening to me, and best of luck with everybody in the future. And look, hopefully, I'll see some of you in the further education space in the next couple of years. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much for your time, Denise.
I'll stop sharing that. Thanks, guys. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Have a nice rest of your Saturday. Nice weekend.
You too. Bye.
Bye, Denise.